Okay, in this tutorial, we will be going through our LRCX symbol and let's start with this. I'll just copy this symbol and I will paste it in Google and I'll type in stock. And what I'll do is I'll also type in the sector in case some other company also has the same symbol. So just to be careful, so I'll write technology besides that and press enter. And I can see the name Lam Research, which is a semiconductor company. And then I want to know what is, if I buy the stock right now, what will I have to pay? So right now it's 187.84 US dollars. Okay, so I'll just type in 184. Okay, and when was it born? It was born in so this side is the right side is Wikipedia information, you can see here, and the left side is from Google. If I click Wikipedia, and I can see that founded, I'll just search founded here, and I can see it's founded in 1980, 39 years ago. So I'll just copy that and I will paste it from Wikipedia, and I'll show you from where I got the sector later on in the video. And these are four ratios that I'm very interested in because this tells me a little bit picture of the stock. And now I'll go to a website called Macrotrend. And in Macrotrend, I can click on price ratios, I can click on price book ratio, and I'll click on the symbol. I'll type in the symbol, which is LRCX. I'll just copy that and paste it. And it's Lam Research. You need to make sure the name is also the same. And I've gone to price book ratio, and I can see that the price book ratio is 5.27, which means that if somebody buys the stock right now, they will be paying 5 times or 5.27 times more than what they should be paying, what the actual book value is. So it means the stock is very expensive right now. It's 5 times more expensive, 5.27 times more expensive right now. So but if they bought in 2018 December, they would have paid 3.5 times more money to buy. So it was cheaper then, but still it's more expensive than the book value. But if they have bought in 2012, which was the nearest, the book value and the stock price value was the closest. So the stock price value was 33.66 in market, but the book value was 28.32. So it was a little bit expensive than the book value. So people who bought in December 2012 bought it much at a reasonable price because they paid nearly a little bit above than what the book value was. Now if somebody buys right now, they will be paying 5 times, 5.27 times more price than the actual value, the book value of the share, which means it's very expensive to buy right now. And it was similar in 2007 what the expense is right now as well. So which is not really good. And if I go to debt equity ratio, I'll go to other ratios, I'll go to debt equity ratio, and I can see here that if I just see debt equity ratio should be 0.5 or less than that for it to be safe, for it to have margin of safety, because the debt, it means that the company is operating a lot on long-term debt, which is not good for the firm. It's not safe for the firm because they might not be able to pay it in future, pay back the debt. If some company has had more debt than the equity, that means that it's not safe to, like, they're mainly operating on debt. Right now the ratio is 0.71, which is not very good ratio because it should be 0.5 or lower than that. So it's not ideal right now because it is not very secure to invest because they have a lot of debt compared to equity. But in 2018 December it was 0.31, um, which means it's lower than 0.5, which makes it ideal because the debt is very less compared to equity. It's still operating on debt, but it's quite less compared to equity. So which makes it more, there's a margin of safety, and which we are looking for when investing in a firm. And if I just go back, it's still the same. And here in 2016, for 2 3 months from June to September. It is away but above zero point 0.5, but not a lot above, but still. And then it's consistently below zero point 0.5, and it has been consistent with being below zero point 0.5. So just in 2016, it's a bit, I would just not care about that because it's a slight up for 2 months. And right now, in 2019 March, it has been 0.71, which is not very good. So I need to be careful about that. But if I see the previous trend, it was doing very good. The debt to equity ratio was below zero point 0.5 consistently, which is very good for the fund, but not right now. So I might wait for this and have a look. Now, next thing, I will look at return on equity. So what return people are getting by investing. So it should be 8% or above that to be safer to invest in. So it means that it's giving good returns. Right now, it's 46% return, which is free above 8%, which is very good. And let's see the consistency. Is it above 8% all the time? Okay, so from 2014 March, it has been consistent in being above 8% or 8%, which is very good. But it's like 9 years right now, or 9 years, not sorry, 5 years, right? 5 years, previous 5 years up till 2014, the ratio has been very good, above 8%. But before that, it was consistently below. Um, so in 2012, it was below 8%, but still, it has never been zero or something, but it has been very low. And then in 2011, it has been above 8%. And then in 2009, it has been way in minus with no return. Then 2000, so it has been fluctuating. So it has been consistent for from 2014, which means that since 5 years, it's doing very well. There hasn't been a moment that it went below 8% from 5 years. And lastly, I look at the current ratio. Current ratio should be 1.5 or above that to be safe to invest, for it to have margin of safety. Right now, current ratio is 3.37, which is a lot above 1.5, which means it has a lot more current assets than liabilities, which is very positive information. Let's look at the consistency. So it has been up and down, but above 1.5 consistently, which is attractive. So if I see it has never been below 1.5, I can't see it below 1.5, but maybe no. So it has been consistently throughout. Um, Throughout, it has been from 2005. The data we have, it has been above 1.5, which is very good because it gives a margin of safety that they have more assets than liabilities, which is very good for the firm. So it's really good. That ratio is really good. Now let's look at let's go back to the Google, and I'll type in the stock, the symbol stock technology, and that's the name, Lam Research Corporation. Let's look at the dividend. So it's paying 2.34% dividend, which is very less dividend, but still it matters because it means that it has enough money, extra money to pay its shareholders. So it's doing very good that it's paying extra money. It could have just invested back in the firm, but it has money to pay to investors. So that's extra money, which means that they are doing good financially. So which gives a very positive, no matter how low the dividend is, but still it's extra money. So they are able to pay. So which is very ideal. Then I'm just interested in the market cap. So how big is the firm? Is it in billions, millions? So you can just see the market cap from here, Google information. I'll just copy this part and I'll just paste it. And then I'll just I'm just also interested in looking what employees think of it. So I'll just copy this part, whole of it, and I'll just paste it here in Google. I'll type in Indeed, and I'll type in review. And if I just click here, the first one, I can see 3.8 review, 3.8 star, which gives a lot good, which means that it's doing very good. It's 3.8, nearly 4 star. So I can read through the reviews as well, what are good reviews, what actually people who work here, what they have to say about it, because they know the internal part. of it, and you can see there are like nearly 359 reviews. And I'll just see the reviews in Glassdoor as well. Okay, and Glassdoor is really good website as well. I'll just click here, and so in Glassdoor it's 3.7, a little bit less than Indeed, but it's 3.7, and we have more reviews, 716 reviews, so it has got 3.7, which which is also really good, 3.7. And you can read through it and everything. And then it's good to know what employees think about it. It gives a very good picture. Then I will go to Justia Patents, which is a good website for patents. I use this all the time. And Justia Patents, I'll just search that. So I need to be careful that I'm taking the full name of the firm, because sometimes they are similar firms and you might be mistaken that about the patents. I'll just search and enter. Okay, and if I just have a look, so I'm interested in applicant or assignee, which means these two, applicant and assignee, are the people who own the rights of the patents. Inventor is not the person we are looking at right now, so you need to consider an applicant and assignee. So in 2012, it's the applicant is that. In 2002, they have a patent. In 2012, they have a patent. 2012. So it's like previous. So what I'm more interested in is not only looking at the previous patents, which is very good that they were innovating. Also, I'm interested in like what they are doing each year. Are they innovating each year to beat the market, to thrive? So patents, the if they are having patents each year, that means that they have a moat, so they can just protect themselves. They have competitive edge, which make them attractive. So is it's in 2013 they have 2012, but do they have any recent one? That what I'm concerned about. So are they still beating the market? You can just go through all the pages. This is 2013, 2012, sorry, filed, and stuff like that. This is in 2014. Okay, this is in 2005. This is in 2016. Okay, so it means it's a recent one. um and stuff, you can just go through it. Like, I'm not gonna go through all of it, but you can just have a look for your own self. It's in 2011. So stuff like that. So there are a lot of pages you can go through. So it has patents, which gives it a competitive edge. And then I want to go to Yahoo Finance, and I'm interested in the salaries of key executives, because if that's shown clearly, that means that it's more transparent, which is good to know if a firm is transparent. I'll just type in the symbol or the company and click it. I'll click the profile, and the sector I was talking about, I can get the sector from Yahoo Finance. So technology, you can have a look at the sector. And technology industry, semiconductor, full-time employees, and there's a lot more information. But what I'm just going to cover in this video is the key executives. So these are the name of the people, these are the titles, and this is the pay salary. Only one executive salary, which is investor relations communications, is not shown, which is not good. They should be shown, because mostly people do show. And you can just see that, and you can find out, compare the salaries with people in the same sector as well, and compare with other companies as well, what they are paying for the same role and title and everything, which is very interesting as well. So